And we are live. It's lunchtime, guys, and it's Thanksgiving week. Woo-hoo-hoo! It is going to be so much fun. We're going to have a great time right here in the kitchen. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you, and we're going to talk turkey today and talk about some of the fun things that we can do with our turkeys, with our families, and some of the things that we're going to be doing. Hi, Jamie, in the kitchen. So I hope that each of you will kick back, that you'll have something to nibble on, because after all, it is lunchtime and I've got apples and we're going to be taking care of that. Now, it's fall. So because of that, we're going to probably hear people out here who are blowing leaves, because I tell you what, this weekend, oh my gosh, the leaves came down off those trees. It was kind of windy. Hi, Heather. And man, it was just raining leaves. And so everybody, I tell you what, this weekend, hi, Sue. Hi, Emma. This weekend, they have been blowing leaves every day this weekend. So, if that starts up, I'm sorry, but we're going to trudge on and get things done. I thought about the fact that this was a great time to be able to come in. Hello, Frederick. Oh my God, Frederick's on. And so I wanted to take a moment to be able to just share with you some of the things that we need to do this week. And home cooks are always busy. And so we have a lot going on. So we're going to talk about some of the things that, first of all, I'm going to start out with those things that I'm telling you over the years that I have done, and they have been absolutely disastrous. And when you know the disasters, then there's only one way to go, and that's up. So we're going to be doing that. So let's first talk about the largest item that is going to be on your table or on your buffet, and that's going to be the bird. Now, for most of us, we're probably, hello, most of us are probably preparing a turkey. And some of us may be preparing hams as well. Some people do standing rib roast for Thanksgiving. There are just all kinds of things that, and all types of meat that people prepare for their holiday dinners. And also keep in mind the fact that there are also folks out there who aren't preparing meat at all because they have chosen a plant-based lifestyle. And so with our family, we have a mixture. So because of that, when we do and plan for holidays and trying to get everything all together, the fun thing is that the buffet ends up so colorful and so full of all kinds of dishes. And we talked about the fact that we always want to be able to accommodate everyone who's going to be a part of your group. And so I know all of you are going to have a very successful meal. And the good thing about Thanksgiving is the fact that everyone can participate, and that's what we want. So I see that I've got quite a few people who I don't normally get to see at lunchtime. So that's exciting. And so I'm prepared for you. I've got a lot to show you. I've got something that's coming that I have been working on, and I'm really, really, really excited to announce to you. We'll do that toward the end, but there's a big announcement that's going to come toward the end. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Now let's do a little turkey talk a little bit. First of all, there are some things that I know a lot of people love when they're preparing their turkeys. They have gotten into the routine of stuffing the bird. And, I try to look at not only just our ideas and our parents' ideas of things that they did. And, we base a lot of what we do in our kitchen based on what went on in the past and what we've had as children. And so, but there are some things that we found that may not necessarily be the best. And so let's talk about that first. And one of those things is the fact that I can remember the day when the turkey was prepared, the stuffing, or what I call dressing, was placed inside the bird, and it was cooked inside the bird. And the United States Food and Drug Administration is asking and advising us not to stuff the bird. And the reason for that is because, number one, you want your bird to be nice and juicy and tasty. And you can inject it, you can brine it, you can do all those things to your turkey. But the reality of it is that when you're stuffing that bird, that's staying inside. You've got to cook that turkey enough so that the stuffing is going to cook also. The problem with that is that the in order for the stuffing to cook appropriately, the bird has to overcook. And so that's not exactly what we're going for. We don't want a dry bird. We want our bird nice and juicy and tasty. So because of that, even the United States Food and Drug recognizes that. And so they advise that we will take the time to uh, leave the stuffing or the dressing outside of the bird. Put it into a beautiful dish and bake it. And that way, that your dressing is cooked the way it's supposed to be, and that your bird is nice and fresh and nice and juicy. So, those are things we want. Now, lately, I don't know, I've been seeing people on the Food Network, a lot of the magazines that you pick up, they're starting to just cook the parts of the turkey that everyone likes. And certainly, if you're in a small family, even a situation where it may be just one or two of you, then you may actually consider only purchasing the part of the turkey that you like. And so I know I love the leg and the thigh, and I like the wing, and those are the parts I like. I like the darker meat. And it's funny because my husband likes the white meat, he likes the breast. And so we might as well buy the whole bird, even though there's just the two of us. But the reality of it is that thank goodness we can buy different sized turkeys, and it works. But what I found is that when you treat that turkey like a chicken, when you're baking your chicken, typically, I like to spatchcock mine. That's where you take the backbone out, lay him out, and cook him that way. And then what happens is that number one, it doesn't have to cook as long. And I like for the skin to get nice and crispy. Those things happen when you do that. And so, if we can save oven time, that is a major, major time saver for us. So, it may be that you may have a family that only likes white meat. And in that case, you may consider buying only the turkey breast. And if you have a large group, you might do two. And so rather than one. So consider that if you haven't already done your holiday grocery shop. Now, I'm assuming, and I'm going to take a big leap, I'm assuming that everyone here has already purchased their bird or whatever type of meat that they've decided that they're going to have for the holiday. And I'm certainly hoping that if you're cooking a turkey and it is frozen, that you have it in the refrigerator already. I put out a couple of reminders to you along the way to remind you of when to put that bird in. And so that's important because the last thing we want is to wait until the last minute and the bird is still frozen. Now, we're back to the Food and Drug Administration. They say that it's okay to cook a partially frozen turkey. Now, you know, I don't know about that. Personally, I want to be able to, number one, I want the giblets and all of that out. I want the neck of the turkey out of the bird, even if I'm going to cook him whole. And so it's tough when your turkey is um, not thawed. It's hard to get those things out, almost near impossible. And what you don't want to do for fear that you may have a bacterial issue is that you don't want to have to run warm water over your turkey just to try to get it to thaw. And so, but this is what you can do. If it's still partially frozen, say when you first get up bright and early on Thursday, you might give it a couple of hours in some cold water in your sink. If nothing else, enough to get the neck and the giblets out of the turkey. Now, once you've done that, the Food and Drug Administration says that you can go ahead and cook the turkey. Now, my problem with that is that number one, it hasn't been brined. You haven't soaked it in either a salty solution or a sugary solution. You can do it either way. I know people who actually brine their turkeys in Coke, and yes, Coca-Cola, or they will brine their turkeys in Sprite or 7 Up. And I'm an apple cider girl. I like to brine mine in apple cider. And so you have to make sure that your turkey is thawed at least by Wednesday so that you will be able to do the brining. And if you want your turkey to brine multiple days, then obviously you've got to back that thaw time up. So yesterday was your day to make sure that absolutely last minute day to make sure that turkey was in the refrigerator. That was it. And then beyond that, you're probably going to want to try to find a fresh turkey. All right. Another thing that the Food and Drug Administration has asked is for you not to trust the turkey. That's where you tie the end of the little turkey legs together because it doesn't allow the heat to flow throughout the turkey. And if you truss it at all, do it loosely so that yes, the legs will look nice and they will, kind of be close together. You get a good image of the turkey, but it will still allow good circulation. Now, I would skip the turkey. I would skip the trussing completely myself, just because, I'm at that point in life where it used to be that the turkey had to be on the table when everybody got there. Hubby had to have the electric knife and he would slice in front of everybody, slice all the turkey out. And everybody would go, oh, and they get to see the turkey sitting on the table in its regalia, on a beautiful platter. Over it, we slice that baby down, get the carcass out, cover it in some good broth, and contain it so that it stays nice and moist. Everyone gets to use the meat fork, get whatever pieces of meat that they want, and serve themselves. And so, we have just gotten, I won't say that we have moved away from total tradition, because we haven't, because we're still gathering as a family. We're still showing our thankfulness. We're still doing all of those things. But it's just some of the little things that we felt like we had to do. We now know we don't have to do it that way. And many of the younger generation, they're just not doing it that way. They are setting their own traditions, their own, they have their own ideas about the way they want it to be. And it's about convenience. Everybody's working. Everybody's trying to work, trying to take care of the kids, trying to, get the meal on the table. We want it nice. We can still have our meat on a nice platter if you want to serve it at the dining room table. All of those things we can still do, but we can also save ourselves, because I can remember my mom would be so exhausted by the time dinner came. She couldn't even eat. She was too tired to eat. And, that's just not fair. I look back on it now, and, as a kid, of course, you don't think about those things. But your home cook, your host, should be the person who's going to be perky, who's going to be ready to go. And we all want to be able to do that. So, keep that in mind as you're working on that turkey, because you are working toward being successful, having a successful meal on Thanksgiving. And you want to be able to sit down with your family and truly enjoy your family and be thankful all together that you are there and that you're enjoying each other. Now, how many of you know of people that when they're preparing their bird, that they're constantly going in there, opening the oven and peeking at the turkey to see how it looks? You know somebody like that? I do. Now, when I put it in there and it's in there to time, it's going to stay in there. It's going to stay in there closed. But I have another person in the house who wants to come and open it up and look and see what it looks like, to make sure that the skin is browning. Is that brown enough? I don't know. Well, you do realize that every time someone opens that oven, and it doesn't have to be you, opens the oven and they open it too often. Every time you open it, the oven's losing heat, and that oven has to build up. So we want to be as conservative with our use of energy as we possibly can as well. So don't check on the bird so much. And once that bird's out, then you can start to put your casseroles in. Now, typically, I have the casseroles ready, and I can tell you, my casseroles are done. The macaroni and cheese, the sweet potatoes, all of that, they are done. They are in their containers. They are covered well, and they're in the freezer. And I'll take them out Wednesday night so that by the time Thursday morning comes, they will have had a chance to thaw. I'll take them out, let them come to room temperature. And then a couple hours before serving, I'll go ahead and put them in. And so those are the things that we want to be able to do. We want to have a method, a timetable, a routine to be able to do that, so that we as home cooks will be able to stop about an hour or so before everybody comes, get a refreshing shower, or as we call it, our Calgon moment. Have that in the bathroom, get your makeup on, get your hair combed, all those good things, rebrush the teeth, and have a time to be able to relax a few minutes before time to serve everyone. And while really you're not really necessarily serving everyone as such, you're still the person who wants to make sure that the buffet is running perfectly, that the drinks are where they're supposed to be, unless you have enough people to delegate tasks to. And I am a fan of delegating. There's going to be somebody who's going to handle the ice and the drinks. There's going to be somebody who's going to make sure that there are always cups available. There's going to be someone who's going to make sure that if say the gravy looks like it's getting low and I have a little crock for it to go in, they're going to make sure that it's refilled. So refilling all those kind of things throughout the dinner and after, because you got the first round of eating and then everybody comes back for that second round of eating. So that's a lot of fun. Let's talk one more thing about that turkey. One of the biggest questions that I got was, how much turkey should I get? And so when you're thinking about that, I'm looking and I'm going to catch up with, see who all's in our chat over here. And I've got some folks that are out there that I know are there. Good to see you. And I'll talk to you in just a second. I've got Stephanie out there. Phyllis is out there. Lillian's out there. Pam Chapman. Oh my goodness. Hello. And Phyllis is there. Luciana's there. And it's just good to see you guys. Good to know you're there. And here we've got Emma's here. We've got, hello, Emma. It's so good to see you. Sue is here. I'm glad that she was able to be with us today. I've got Frederick who's here. Christina is here with me. Nitty T is here. And Ronnie is here. And Nitty T shared the fact that she prepares a whole turkey and an extra breast. And when you have a large crowd, you want to make sure that you have plenty of food. This is not the time to cut back. And Patricia's on. Oh, good. All right, Pat. I'd love for you to come on. And so we will have a chance to talk. I've got some who are going to be chatting, and so we'll be watching that in just a moment. We'll be bringing them on in just a minute. Now, another way that we want to make sure this week that we have prepared is that, for instance, you want to make sure that you try to, if possible, now, it depends upon the layout of your home. If you have a separate dining room that's separate from your eating area in the kitchen, it may be possible for you to go ahead today and get your dining room set. Get your tablecloth on if you're going to have a tablecloth, and I use a tablecloth even though I still have the tablecloth, the table liner, and it looks like the table, but it's not. But I like for Thanksgiving and Christmas to make sure that I have a nice tablecloth. And so we've got the tablecloth on. You want to get the place settings, arranged so that you can make sure that you have enough sets of everything so that everyone is taken care of. I love the fact that I suggested several weeks ago that you use paper plates rather than necessarily china, especially if you have a large group, if you have over 8 people, I'm going to say 8, and I'm kind of aiding with that. But I we are all at that point where we've come to understand that our holidays are more about the people who are in the room than having the china and the water for crystal and all of that. I've been there. I've been there, had to have it. But I've also learned that I spent hours hand washing the dishes because the water for crystal, you don't want to put in your dishwasher. The china, most of it has gold trim and all those good things around it. And you don't want to put that in your dishwasher. And so you've got to hand wash. So I don't know. I don't have a maid. I am the maid. So because of that, I've got to hand wash all those items. So I've decided I'm done with that. If I have a small group of 4, then yes, small group even of 8. Okay, I'll do that. But beyond that, get some beautiful, and now we have beautiful paper items that we can use. And the nice thing about it is that you can get your table all set up. It's absolutely beautiful. Bring and as people are serving themselves, they will have beautiful paper options to be able to use, and it saves you in the end. It saves with cleanup. That's a good thing. So let me make sure that I've covered. How many of you are having regular mashed potatoes? I know we do sweet potatoes, and we have a couple people who like mashed potatoes. So we opt. Oh, hey Wilma, hey Van Treese. We opt sometimes to do mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving and at Christmas too. So we have figured out a recipe for having the silkiest mashed potatoes that you can prepare. And, it's all about preparing the mashed potatoes, making sure that the butter is nice and hot when you are putting those potatoes together. You want to make sure that your milk or your half and half that you're going to use, that it's warm also, because if the butter's warm, the milk is warm, then your potatoes are going to be creamier. And some people even add a little bit of cream cheese to their mashed potatoes to give them that extra fluffiness that only cream cheese can add. And so you don't want your potatoes to be like glue. And so, but if you add your butter first, it has a tendency to make sure that your potatoes remain silky and smooth and fluffy. So those are the things that you want to do. You want to have those potatoes and you want them to be absolutely delicious. Now, serving. Most home cooks, period, um, usually have crock pots. And so crock pots on a buffet table, perfect, because then you can put your green beans, put your greens. You can even cook your sweet potatoes in the crock pot, or you can prepare them to a point, put them into the crock pot, put that crock pot on low, and let those sweet potatoes stay nice and hot, rather than putting them out in some type of rectangular aluminum foil container. We like hot food, and so the crock pot helps with that. Now, as people are, that I think the brand is crock pot that has a rectangular dish now rather than just the oval dish that we're used to, the oval crock that we're used to serving as a slow cooker. And so now they have one, and I know they do. I know it's crock pot because I gave one as a gift, but they you're able to put your mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, your macaroni and cheese. You're able to put them into these vessels, and they are able to be on low or on warm, and they keep your food nice and hot, so that everyone's not lined up at your microwave rewarming whatever it is that you have because they want the food hot. We also suggested that your rolls also go into a crock pot. Put your napkin down, a nice napkin or a nice clean kitchen towel into your crock pot. Put your rolls in there, turn it on warm, and keep the rolls nice and hot inside of the crock pot. Don't put the top on it because then they'll get moist. But leave the top off, but just let it stay warm. And your rolls stay nice and warm as well. So crock pot is a great tool. A toaster oven is another great tool to have. It may be that if you're serving a hot beverage like wassail, or you may have some people who love hot tea, and maybe you want to make a batch of green tea and have available. Have some type of thermos. Now they've got them by quarts, where you can get a 4-quart thermos that's hot, that you can put your hot beverages in. That is a great thing to be able to have when you're serving your large groups of people. And of course, we all have insulated coolers, and we typically put all of our drinks inside of those coolers, whether they're cans or bottles or water or whatever it may be, inside of those coolers so that they can stay nice and cold. So those are some options that we have as well. Juggling the Thanksgiving dinner, and especially for those who are brand new home cooks, probably in each of our families, we have some new home cooks. And you never want to put them on the spot. You really don't. But you do want to encourage them to try something, try a dish that they think they can make, and or something that let them bring something that's easy to prepare, and suggest that they bring, so that they can kind of get into the mode of knowing, oh, I'm important, and okay, I can bring that. I can do that. And even if they go to Kroger's and they pick up a cake, or they get cake and some type of ice cream, or they'll get a cheesecake, or you might even put, if you have single fellas or girls that are in there, you might have them to handle the drinks, or handle bringing the ice, to make sure that those things are done. So those are the types of things that if you have not designated those things already, you may want to do that this week to make sure that everyone is a part of the fellowship of coming together. Now, let me see who else is here. Ronnie said she's having regular mashed potatoes. Yum. Love it. I could eat mashed potatoes 5 days a week, so I'm good with that. Christina said that she makes her mashed potatoes ahead of time, and she freezes them in a casserole dish. She dots them with butter so that they're ready for the oven. And after defrosting in the oven, she said they bake up beautifully. So that is a great thing to know. So not only can we do our sweet potatoes and put them in the in the freezer, now we know we can make our regular mashed potatoes and have them in the freezer as well, and that they will come out perfectly. Thank you, Christina. That is wonderful. Christina said, "You'd never know they had been frozen, but it sure takes the pressure off Thanksgiving Day." How about that? I'm going to have to try that because I have never tried the mashed potatoes, um, and are freezing the mashed potatoes. Okay, let's see. She and Ronnie are talking back and forth. Ronnie said, "It's so helpful." She said she Oh, Christina said that she meant after they're defrosted in the fridge, not the oven. Okay, okay. All right. Hello, Michelle. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Um, Ronnie said, after watching Denise and I, for those of you who didn't know, Denise and I did 3 weeks, 3 Wednesdays of helping to get a timeline. We talked about the timeline. We talked about the Thanksgiving menu. And we talked about the Thanksgiving house, preparing for the holiday. And we have been working on that all month. So if you missed that, you'll want to go back, please, and check that out because it has been so much fun this month working with Denise and being able to come up with, shoot our ideas back and forth. And the two of us, we have been in this position of as moms and home cooks, and we've been out, we've had careers and the works. And so now we get to come back and we get to share. And I tell you all the time, I am not a sage, a sage on the stage. I have to research, especially if it's something that I'm not quite sure about, because I don't want to give you bad information. So that's the reason why, when we're talking turkey, turkeys are serious. You don't want to mess up your turkey, and that's a lot of money. That's the biggest ticket item that you're going to put on your table. So you want to make sure that you do it right. So that's why I go to the authorities, go to the the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, find out exactly, what your cooking, your cooking times are. For $10, get a good thermometer for your turkey so that you can put that thermometer in him and make sure that it's registering no less than 165 degrees. I like mine a little closer to 170 because I want to be able to take that leg and I want to be able to twist the bone just a little bit. And when I can twist the bone, I know my turkey's ready and that it's not going to be dry. So Ronnie said that she started making macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving. Girl, mac and cheese has to be on our table. Has to be on the table. Um, She's letting Christina know that she was glad that she came back with defrosting the mashed potatoes in the fridge rather than in the oven. She said because she would have just thrown them in the oven frozen. I might have done that too. So I hear you. Sue said, she said the work that Denise and I had done was very evident in the 3-part series. Thank you, guys. It really was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. And we have, we've already got the wheels turning because we know that some things that we want to be able to share with you between now and the next big day, which is going to come so fast that it just seems like Christmas will be here so quickly. And so because of that, we have some things that we're going to be talking about over at least the next 2 weeks. And so after Thanksgiving, so be on the lookout for that, because we do have some fun things that we're going to do together, as well as some things that we'll do individually. But it really was a great time. And, in our house, mac and cheese has to be on the list, because otherwise there are some people who just absolutely, they walk in going, well, where's the mac and cheese? And so mac and cheese, corn pudding, all those things have to be on the table for our house. Now, before we get too far, I have an announcement. Got a drum roll. I have been working, and this is my paper copy, which I'm hoping that each of you will have. This is a home cook's time in the holiday kitchen. A home cook's time in the holiday kitchen. This is a printable book that you will be able to acquire. It is on Etsy, but when the show is over, I will put the link right in the description box. It includes, of course, a little note from me to you. And I'll kind of flip through some of it so you can see. It includes some tips and tricks for home cooks. It also includes, and this is focused not so much on just the holiday. This is about the fact that every home cook, regardless of Thanksgiving, regardless of Christmas Day, every home cook cooks just about every day. And so because of that, when we're preparing for those big days, the everyday meals, we would like for those to be very, very delicious, quick, and easy. So, a lot of those little weeknight wonders that you've seen coming along, and those easy and delicious meals are in print. And so you will be able to purchase those. And so they're all together. So this is the first of what's going to be coming out, but there will be a series of little small recipe books. This one has quite a few recipes in it, because I tried to look at the fact most of us cook, at least maybe 3 or 4 days, and you may be able to have a couple of leftover days. And so I'm figuring that you have enough in here to be able to get you through a month and of easy and delicious recipes. There's also breads that you can prepare, as well as some fun desserts that are easy to put together and your family will enjoy. So, a home cook's time in the holiday kitchen, we want it to be pleasant. And the holiday kitchen, as you can see, is not just about that one day or those 2 days. It's about every day. Every day that we sit down at the table with our family, we want to make sure that we're serving our family nutritious, delicious, easy to prepare meals. And so I felt like that was more important than even trying to tell somebody how to bake a turkey. Wow, that's great, but that's not something you're going to do every day. How many times a year do you bake a turkey? Probably once, maybe twice, but we cook all the time. And so these are recipes that you will be able to use all the time. And so be on the lookout for this. This will be in the description box. And in fact, it went live today. So you'll be able to take advantage of that. I am so excited. And right behind it, I've got something else coming out, because some of you who are here, I know for sure in the chat, knew that I've been working on a recipe cookbook. And so I wasn't quite where I wanted to be with with the official cookbook, but I wanted you to be able to have something to be able to not only work with daily, and I'm more concerned about the daily meals because we're a family, and as a family, we prepare meals every day. And so, because of that, we want what we're putting together to be special. And we don't want to be so focused on what the meal is going to be. We want it to be fast. Yay. We want it to be delicious. Yay. And we want our family we want all the talking to go. And you look around and everyone is eating. That's what I love. I love to have that quiet moment of when you look across the table, no one's saying a word. All they're doing, the forks are going, the knives are going, and before you know it, the one little person who hardly eats most of the time is already back. Can I have more? That's what we want. And that's what makes what we do every day fun. And so I am just so excited. Michelle, thank you so much. Um, Christina has shared with us. She said it sounded wonderful and she's looking forward to getting one. Michelle said that she's considering, she said she followed the Etsy shop and she's going to order the book for her newly married daughter. Oh, bless her heart. Oh my goodness. That is so sweet. Thank you, Michelle. And the new cooks, that's what this is all about. It's, most of us who are here, we have been in the kitchen for more than a day or even a few weeks. And so, because of that, we have so much that we can share with each other and share with our families and our girls and our guys. I had a young man to leave a comment the other day that I sat there and just smiled and giggled because he was talking about he had somehow or another, he happened on the show that Denise and I did together, the last one. And he said, oh man, I didn't know this and I didn't know this. And he said, I didn't know about planning a timeline. He said, I like to cook. He said, so now I know that I can look for recipes. And he had gone through several of the videos and he said, I'm making my grocery list, and so we have young people who in talking to quite a few, what you find is that a lot of young people, and I won't say those who are close to us, because I think most of us who are right here in this chat today, we share with our young people what we do. And if they ask questions, we are more than willing to give that information. It's not a secret. It's not a big secret. We all have our signature dishes that we might add a little special touch of this to. But what we have to think about is the fact that when I'm gone, I want my dishes to carry on, because I know that was special to me. When my mom passed, I was able to carry on her dishes to my family, to my grandchildren. And this weekend, the Grands were here. We had a chance to cook in the kitchen together. And that is always a lot of fun. And so when we talk about Thanksgiving, we talk about Christmas, those are big moments where we are bringing our family legacies together. We have a chance to sit down and talk about traditions. We get to giggle about things we did in the past, and we get to talk about what we're doing now, and we get to make plans for the future. And while we know that those days are not promised to us as far as the future is concerned, we still look forward to them because we have hope. And so we'll continue. We'll continue to share everything that we possibly can. And that's another plus for delegating family members to bring their signature dishes to the table when you're having a holiday dinner where everybody's coming together, because it gives them a chance to shine as well as you. So everybody shines, and that's a win-win. Now, one thing, just in case you forgot, ask everyone to bring their leftover containers. Leftover containers, because of the fact that, let's face it, most of us don't have enough leftover containers to send leftovers home with everyone. And so if they bring leftover containers, then we can all share what we've done with each person. And everyone gets to go home with whatever favorite part of the meal that they had. And it's so much fun. We started doing that as a family at our family game night. And I have a couple who like to they are single, and they, when they go home, of course, I know they don't cook a lot, so I always tell them, okay, bring your dishes so that when the meal's over with, they can fix a couple of, a night of food. So they'll have something to take with them. And it gives them an opportunity to be able to say, I really like that. How'd you fix that? And so I get to share whatever that recipe is. So everybody, bring your dishes and have them to bring their little leftover containers. They're cheap I went out and picked up a few. I picked up 10 at Dollar Tree. Well, it might have been more than 10. I think I got 5, and I think it comes 3 to a little pack that you get. So for less than $10, there are plenty of leftover containers, those little rectangle oval ones that you can get. And they have nice tops on them, but they're there in case, somebody comes and they forget. Then you've got some inexpensive little containers that they can take leftovers home. So if you forgot to do that, please do that. And if you forgot this for Thanksgiving, remember to do that for Christmas, to be able to to be able to got a technical difficulty here, to be able to, sorry guys. Okay, now to be able to share that information. So okay, now, so if are there any questions? Here we are almost at the last minute. We've got a little bit left. And oh, Michelle, how sweet of you. Well, first of all, Christina's saying that's a great idea to be able to ask people to bring their leftover containers. Yes. And she said she'll definitely do that this year. Michelle said that she has sent the file to her daughter. Thank you, thank you. And she's so excited. You know, we are putting things, I am all about putting things down on paper so that it is available for everyone to have. And the nice thing is that people are able to see what it is. They're able to keep what it is. And we talked about being able to share our kitchen legacies by creating books. And I think it was Michelle, remind me. I think it was Michelle that told me that she had started making like her own recipe book that she would give to her son or daughter and to share with them. And so I think it was Michelle that had said that earlier. And so you want to have an opportunity to be able to share your kitchen with your family members, and particularly with your young family members. And so I made my book, and it was so much fun this weekend because the kids were here. I said, "Okay, guys, what recipes?" Okay, Michelle. She said, "Yes, that was her." All right. Um, it was so nice to be able to sit down with the kids. They had a chance to go through the book, and if there was a recipe that they wanted in the book that I hadn't thought about, they let me know it. And so right there, we started writing down recipes together. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And they could have been on their phones. They could have been playing games. They could have been doing all heaven only knows. But instead, they were sitting here with the grandmother writing down recipes for their book. And so we're finding things for our kids to do, our grandchildren to do. And, if they're willing to come into the kitchen, I'm willing to share whatever I got. So, guys, we are right here. And I want you to know Thanksgiving is a time, a very special time of being able to give thanks. We're thankful to God for allowing us to see another Thanksgiving. And as you know, we've had some years where it's been tough. We've looked around, and people that we were used to seeing at the table aren't at the table anymore. And God has been good to all of us. And I know I am extremely thankful for just the opportunity of being able to share with you, to be able to meet you, to have you as family members, to be able to talk to you on a weekly basis. I got real family members that I don't get to do that with, but I get to certainly have you right here. And I am very appreciative to that. I appreciate those of you who follow the newsletter, those who are checking out the websites, those who watch the videos. I thank you for that. But most of all, I thank you for sitting down at the table right here. I know if you take time to sit down at our lunch table, I know you're taking time to sit down with your family. And when you bow your head on Thursday, before you put any food in your mouth, and you're thanking God for what He has allowed us to have before us, I hope that you'll take a moment and think of all of us as our YouTube family. as we come together, because we are certainly blessed. And that's something we don't want to forget. Just how blessed we are. So, mwah, I appreciate being here with you, and I certainly thank you. So, have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will see you Monday after Thanksgiving, because we got to get ready for the next big holiday. And I want to hear what you did, hear how your dinner went. Tell me what you bought during Black Friday. And we're going to talk about a lot of things on the next lunchtime. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, guys. And I'll see you soon right here